Oh my goodness, guys. Sofi stock is up like crazy after they reported some pretty good numbers that we have to break down in this video and some good guidance. We also have to go over the stock, the chart, what I'm looking to do. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, and let's dive into the video. And by the way, if you guys want some free money for Moo, it is their 10-year anniversary right now. Use that link down below, deposit at least $100, and you get $10 free guaranteed for their 10-year anniversary and up to 15 stocks on top of that, each up to $2,000. So again, use that link, deposit at least $100. And with that being said, let's dive into it. I'm amped up, guys. Even though, full disclosure, I don't own Sofi, I'm still amped up because I know it is up a ton right now. And honestly, a lot of you guys own it, right? If you own it, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, or let me know in the comments if you do own it. So before we actually dive into the investor relations and look at the presentation, let's go to ThinkOrSwim very quickly and see what in the world is going on with the stock. So right now it's up 13%, and at one point I think it was up almost 17% and was at $6.50 right when the market opened, or right before the market opened, and it actually closed at what, $5.45 yesterday. So it ran up about, actually over 17%, almost 20%, 19% to be exact, and now it's pulled back a little bit since the market opened, down about 5%, but clearly on the 4-hour chart, Sofi is starting to break out. Now it's above the moving averages. We're about to test a key resistance here, which you guys can see over the past couple of weeks. We've struggled at this point, $6.50, which, mind you, that's where we actually got rejected here right at open in the pre-market after these earnings came out. So if $6.50 or $7, obviously both, if these points are able to break on Sofi, and who knows, maybe this momentum comes. Clearly, we're getting momentum now, but maybe this continues into the near-term future. If these points break, Sofi could really start tearing towards 850, maybe even higher than that, as you guys can see here on the chart. So with that being said, you know, we looked at the chart very quickly, and we'll come back to it here at the end to see how it is looking in a couple of minutes. Let's dive over here to the investor relations and see what Sofi ended up doing. So they did EPS, which, mind you guys, this company is not profitable right now, but they did EPS of -9 cents versus -10 cents. Let me actually double check. They're not profitable. Yeah, it's not just this quarter. The past couple quarters, they lost 14 cents 2 quarters ago. Last quarter, 12-cent loss. Now they just lost 9 cents. So they're not profitable, but one thing worth mentioning is losses are narrowing quarter over quarter, at least, based on what I'm seeing right here. And you guys can see, actually, no, you can't see it, but I'll tell you, EPS, or revenue rather, adjusted net revenue came in at $419.26 million, which crushed the $393.76 million estimate. And I think you guys can see it now. Let me double check. Actually, let me move my face over here a little bit. I appreciate you guys, your patience and your support here. Let me do this really quickly, just like that. Okay, there we go. And where was I? Revenue is up 51% year over year, which is pretty crazy. You guys can see that right here. That is adjusted net revenues up 51% year over year. GAAP revenue is up 56%. So that's a little bit of a different number there, $424 million in GAAP revenue. And that's a record number for GAAP and adjusted net revenue for the third quarter, as you guys can see here on the first line of their report here for the third quarter. And record adjusted EBITDA as well, $44 million, up 332% year over year, up 118% sequentially. And they added new members, of course, new member ads of nearly 424,000. Quarter end total members up 61% year over year to 4.7 million, and new product ads of over 635,000. Quarter end total products up 69% year over year to nearly 7.2 million, and management raised full year guidance, which that is really what is moving the stock, guys. Not only did they beat on EPS and revenue for the last quarter, but their future forward guidance is looking strong. They raised full year 22 outlook to 1.52 roughly billion for revenue versus the 1.48 billion estimated. So they raised it and they beat the estimate for that, and that's what's sending the stock completely and utterly soaring. And if we come down here and look at just some of these numbers, total net revenue, again, last year they did 3 months ended September 30th, 272 million, and you can see that big spike to 424 rather, to this year, this quarter, which is great. And the loss, actually, did I say net, EPS was coming down, but it looks like the net loss here is down as well, because I'm assuming they're issuing a ton of shares. And full disclosure, guys, I'm not a huge, huge I don't want to say believer in SoFi, but I think the company could do well long term. But I haven't done a huge deep dive into it. I'm not one of these crazy SoFi bulls that knows everything about the company, the ins and outs. I'm just covering the brief numbers here. I know a little bit about the company, obviously, but we're just running through the report to see what it's looking like. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And full disclosure, like I said in the beginning of the video, I am not long SoFi right now. I've traded it a bunch. I've made a bunch of money on it over the past year or two, but I'm not long in terms of having it as a long-term investment, if that makes any sense. At this point in time, who knows? That might change, but right now I'm not personally long. And if you're long, I'd love to know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you're long. And let's take a look here at these numbers. This goes to show the growth in members and products by segment and technology platform accounts. You guys can see this top left. Members in thousands has been growing nicely over the past couple of quarters, like you can see here, very nicely. Products also nicely, and products by segment. You guys can see lending products have not been growing crazily since last year. From last year to now, in thousands, 1 million roughly to 1.2. I guess that's pretty decent, 1.3 million. But the real growth is in the financial services products, from 3.23 million last year in Q3 21 to now almost 6 million. That's almost a double up, as opposed to an increase of 20-ish, 30 or 25%, whatever, for the financial, or rather the lending products. So not bad for members, products by segment. There's no denying the fact that SoFi is growing, guys. There's no question about it. But the thing is, the $1 million question, which is the big risk with SoFi, is, are they going to be able to, take on these traditional banks? Are they going to be able to, beat somebody like a JPM? I don't know if that's really their goal. Is their goal to obviously beat them and be the top dog, or coexist and have their own market, which is really the millennial crowd? And you guys know, I don't think they're ever going to beat somebody like a JP or any of the big banks, but I think they're going to be able to hold their own, within the demographic that they serve, which from my understanding really is people that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm not an expert here on SoFi. So record personal loan originations of over 2.8 billion in the third quarter were up nearly 1.2 billion, or 71% year over year, and rose 14% sequentially. So why are people taking so many personal loans? That's pretty insane there. So insane. Let's see here. Third quarter student loan volume of over 457 million was down more than 50% from the average pre-pandemic volume, as the moratorium on student loan payments continues to weigh on the business. No freaking kidding. And now what they're doing in Washington with the student loan forgiveness, which, come on, let's be real. That was totally a political play for the midterms. I'm more moderate. I'm not right or crazy left. I'm more middle. Or what is it? Independent, or what is it? I'm forgetting now. Libertarian, right? That's kind of what I am at the end of the day. Maybe not fully. I'm not a big politics guy. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I can look at both sides and I'm like, you're BSing right now. You're BSing right now, because I think all politics is a bunch of theater, whether it's Republican, Democrat. So that's why I'm looking at it from an unbiased perspective, and I'm like, come on, Biden, you're pulling the rabbit, or the rabbit out of the hat, or you're doing this trick right now, right before the midterms, when you've been saying this for the past year and a half, 2 years. Come on, it's all political theater. But who knows how that is going to affect SoFi? Moving forward. And, it's just in general, people are not going to school, college. I think I made a TikTok on this. Make sure to go follow me on there at StasserFez, talking about how people are not going to college as much. I think the enrollment for undergraduates declined for the third straight year, and people are not going as much. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem. And of course, college is not going to go away. But the problem here is it's too freaking expensive. People are realizing that companies are not really requiring, a lot of companies aren't requiring degrees anymore. And they're also realizing that you can just go online and learn a bunch of stuff, and go to a local community college, or go to a cheaper 4-year school. And the people are starting to wake up. But the problem here is the loans are still being made, which, I mean, they're trying to give you $20,000 off your loans, but on the same on the same page or whatever, you guys know what I'm saying. On that same coin, they're also still giving these ridiculous loans to 18-year-olds. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I think it's stupid, but I'm going off on a side tangent. Overall, SoFi, that's going to be, I don't want to say a problem, but that's something that is worth noting for sure. I mean, you guys can see student loans are actually down here. Let's see, is it down? Yeah, they're down a ton. So, yeah, 50%. So, guys, I don't want to go too deep and too long into this, but overall, SoFi did pretty well. And I want to see here, there's a lot of financials, and this thing is like 15, 20 pages. I want to see their balance sheet. How's their balance sheet looking? Let's see, the statement of cash flows. I don't want a statement of cash flows. Wait, did I just passed it. Here we go. Assets right now as of September 30th, 2022. Then we're going to end this video, guys. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you all. As always, cash and cash equivalents right now are about $930 million. Let's see short-term investments. Where the heck is that line? I can't really see straight today, guys. Where is it? Cash. Oh, total assets 15. Roughly $15.8 billion, which is pretty intense there. This is in millions, right? In thousands, rather. Yeah, in thousands. Yeah, $15.8 billion. Total liabilities. Where the heck are the liabilities here? Total liabilities about, $10.3 billion, which is not that bad. So it looks like they do have more assets than liabilities. We're not going to get too deep into this, but overall, not bad there for SoFi. And again, they're a growing company, and the million-dollar question is, what's going to happen with student loans? How are these, how's this bank going to compete with the big boys? And where are they going? Because clearly, the growth is really coming back to this point here, and we'll end the video. Growth is coming heavily from financial services products. So how are they going to grow that? How are they going to increase lending products? That's the million-dollar question. And how are they going to become profitable in the long term? These are some questions that I have difficulty answering. And for that reason, going back to what I said earlier in this video, I'm personally not long SoFi, but I would consider trading it. And who knows, maybe at some point I will consider, going long-term with it. We shall see, guys. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. Today's the first of the month. If you want to check it out, join it. Now's the best time to do it. Use that link down below or go to StasserFest.com/Patreon. And if you want some free money, who doesn't like free money in a bear market, get $10 plus up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000 for Moo. Just use that link down below or deposit at least $100 or go to StasserFest.com/Moo. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, guys. Peace out.